Hey guys, it's Brandon here, and we are on site today right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Breakers Resort. Now, in this video, I'm going to cover your gross operating income, all of your operating expenses, and your profit and loss on a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom oceanfront condo right here at the Breakers. Now, we're also going to dive into the appreciation on these properties. How well historically have they appreciated over the last decade? Many of those larger condos bringing in almost $30,000 a year, and sometimes over $30,000 a year in appreciation. We're going to dive into your depreciation, how much you can write off in depreciation owning and operating an oceanfront condo, a short-term vacation rental property, each and every year, reducing your overall tax burden. Additionally, we're going to take a tour of a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit. We're going to walk all of the on-site amenities and dive into the topics that every first-time investor must know about oceanfront condos. Now, you got to watch to the end of the video because I don't want your next investment or your first investment to be a flop. Nobody wants that. I don't want you to buy a low-tier condo at a horrible resort and then your investing career comes to a quick, stifled end, because you can't purchase that next oceanfront condo because the first one's not doing well. I don't want that for you. I don't want you to fall prey to many of the misconceptions that first-time investors make. Man, I hear it all the time. They fear's in the driver's seat. They're concerned about what the HOA fees are. Oh, that HOA is high. They're concerned about not taking on too much risk. They've never done this before. They don't realize that owning and operating a 3-bedroom or a 4-bedroom oceanfront condo is just the same as operating a smaller oceanfront condo, except you got a lot more appreciation on those larger units and your upside is much higher. You can make a lot more profit. Now, if you're interested in making $30,000 to $45,000 a year in profit on an oceanfront condo, you're in the right place. Because in this video, I'm going to teach you all about it. 1031 like-kind exchanges, cash-out refis, HOAs, on-site versus off-site property management. I mean, you name it, it's going to be in this video, so be sure to watch it until the end. Now, I don't want to hold us up any longer. Let's get into the video. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can enjoy and increase the passive income of your oceanfront condo through the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast each year. Not only can you enjoy the equity paid for by visiting tourists, but you can also anticipate the over 100% appreciation experience at many of the oceanfront resorts in our market during the recent decade. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can depreciate them, reducing your overall tax burden, keeping more money for you and your loved ones, and ensuring unnecessary taxes aren't paid. All right, guys, we're on site in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, right here at the Breakers. You can see it's right in front of me. Now, just a little bit to the right, we do have Beach Bums Cafe. You can see there. And then that big, giant, yellow oceanfront condo is Camelot by the Sea. And, of course, in the distance, you have the Atlantica and some other oceanfront condo resorts. Now, right next to us, we do have the Courtyard Spring Hill Suites by Marriott. That's the building next to us. And then the next building over, if you can see that one there, guys, that's the Breakers again. That's another one of the Breakers building. And then technically this little brown building way over here, you can see a little bit further down, that's the Breakers as well. Now, directly across the street, we have a bunch of really cool shops, which is nice. They have a great Starbucks right here. A lot of people enjoy that. But let's get on into the Breakers. All right, guys. Now, the Breakers has efficiencies, 1-bedrooms, 2-bedrooms, and 3-bedrooms. 1-1s, 2-2s, and 3-3s. And so it has a pretty large spectrum, the largest being 3 bedrooms. Now, as far as the prices currently on the market, we do have a low at $298, an average price of $390.40, and then a high price of $525. And these are for oceanfront and ocean view units. Your peak season is April through September. That's when you're going to get the bulk of your traffic. As you can see here, this is your elevators. And the peak of the peak being June, July, and August. That's when you're going to make the bulk of your money. All right, guys, let's get into unit 670 right here at the Breakers Resort. Now, guys, as soon as you walk in, you will notice tile flooring, decor on the walls. We have a bedroom immediately to our left, two good-sized beds. Kind of see there's a flat screen in the corner. So give you a peek out the window. Behind the door, you do have a flat screen. You do have a closet here. And then another closet here. On to the next bedroom here. Again, two nice full-size beds. As you can see, flat screen and closet. Stuff for the guest. Pretty smart move. The community restroom, as you can see, very, very nice. Tub shower combo. Spacious, definitely spacious. We have our master here. We have the rest of the unit here with the kitchen, but I wanted to bring your attention here to very quickly show you the stackable washer and dryer unit, HVAC system. All right, guys. Now, kitchen is gorgeous. Nice granite. Does not have really an overhang for a bar, as you can see, but it is very, very nice. Microwave, stove, refrigerator, beautiful cabinetry, and a dishwasher. Flows right into the dining room. Now, I will draw your attention, guys, to that back floor to ceiling glass pane wall. That is what we call a unique value proposition. This unit has a unique value proposition. That's something that you do not find in many oceanfront condo units. And I bet you it shows up wonderful in photos. Now, you'll notice that the balcony is tiled, which is beautiful. It wraps around to the master, which we'll enter in just a minute. But I do want to show you just real quick the on-site amenities. And look at the view. Sand and ocean right in front of you. Now, let's quickly hit the master. Flat screen TV. Nice decor, as you can see. Beautiful king-size bed. Great closet with stuff for the kids. Master bath, as you can see here. Nice jet tub, look at that. Not bad. Shower tub combo. Updated vanity, as you can see. And guys, this master, it's got that balcony where you can hear the ocean at nighttime, which is what people want. They want to be able to hear the sound of those waves coming through. And that pretty much wraps up this gorgeous unit 1670 right here at the Breakers Resort. In this video, I've shown you the resort, explained the property, and given you a walkthrough of the property. But next, I'll cover the accommodations and amenities offered by the resort and give you a walkthrough of the amenities so you can see why tourists choose oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Then I'll discuss on-site versus off-site management so that you learn how to maximize profitability on your unit and avoid the pitfalls other investors have made. Then I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, we have an entrance right here. You can see here all of the indoor lazy rivers and pools, all the good stuff, vending machines. All right, let's get down here. You can see the pools, plenty to do here. Lots for the kids and family and friends. You name it, it's happening right here at the Breakers. This is all indoors. We do have outdoor as well. So get in here. Lazy River's outside, as you can see. More pools down that way. Of course, that's a heck of a view there. And then you have a water park for the kiddies. Plenty of slides, plenty to do. Absolutely stunning. Let's get a walk a little bit further on out. Now, immediately to my right, you do have your layout area. Tons of chairs and tables and stuff like that. Then there's a whole separate pool over on this side, as you can see. Not bad at all. Now we do have an access here. And again, plenty, ample space to lay out with a beach access. Check this out. Tons and tons of space to get your tan on. As you can see. They got some pickleball over here. And guys, that wraps it up for the amenities right here at the Breakers. And this is your beach access here. I just want to walk you out and show you all the little tents and people here on the beach. It's towards the end of April. The crowds are definitely here. Now, don't forget this, guys. If you're doing this well and right, you should make enough money June, July, and August to cover all of the operating expenses on your unit for the entire year. Those peak season months. I just asked Matt Freeze. If you don't believe me, or watch the investor interviews I've done with him. Now, you can see here, plenty of little tents out, people out. Demand is here and happening all day long. If you look a little further down the coast, you'll see just how close we are to that skywell. Right there. Now, whatever happens, you have to keep watching because later on in the video, I'm going to take you to the indoor water park right here at the Breakers Resort. So I know we're going to cover some other topics, but keep watching. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. Now, on-site versus off-site property management, very simply, guys, you always want to self-manage. You do not want to hand your profits over to a property management company. Plus, if you're serious about building a robust portfolio, well, guys, guess what? You taking the helm and doing this the first year or two is going to provide you with the experience that you need in order to better understand your investment and your money. So that way, when you do hand it off to a property manager, you'll know what to look for if they're doing a good job or not. Additionally, no one's going to manage your property like you are. And I will tell you, if you're thinking to yourself that you don't have time because you have a full-time job and you can't handle anything else, then you're wrong. You need to get focused. You need to get self-disciplined. You need to get serious with yourself about your future and your retirement. Now, here's the deal. Matt Freese owned 11 oceanfront condos, and he owns a mortgage brokerage. He's got a full-time day job and manages his oceanfront condos from his phone and his laptop. Gosha Cook owns 15 oceanfront condos, 2 commercial properties, and a long-term rental. Manages them. She leverages technology. She also owns a property management company and has 110 doors that she's responsible for. The point is that, very simply, lots of people are managing this type of rental right from their phone. They're syncing their calendar with their cleaning lady's calendar. And, she's going and cleaning that unit. They're handling guests through automated text messages and emails right there on the platform. It is not rocket science. You can completely run this from your phone and your laptop. And you can be out of state. Matt Freese is out of state. There are plenty of out-of-state investors that buy these condos and manage them all the time. Do I run into a lot of husband-wife couples that do this? Absolutely. If that's you, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because this is the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. This helps to insulate our market from many of the ups and downs that the rest of our nation's real estate market experiences. This can help you have a more stable rental property. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have a tremendous upside when compared to money market accounts and the stock market, due to the appreciation they earn and the potential of higher annual yields through their gross rental income when compared to these other investments. Money market accounts and the stock market don't have the upside of added appreciation. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because while our prices have risen and have held their value, we're also much cheaper than other places like Florida. Where else can you go and find an oceanfront condo for as little as $100,000? If you're getting into the real estate game or expanding your current portfolio, the bang for your buck is sitting right on the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina oceanfront. All right, so let's really quick work through a cash out refi. Lots of people are curious about this. It's a very viable strategy for building wealth. Highly recommend it. Matt Freese did it. He owned 11 oceanfront condos when I talked to him, and he bought them largely doing cash out refis. The real estate strategy of using a cash out refinance involves pulling equity from your first investment property after it has appreciated in value or you've paid down the mortgage, and using those funds as a down payment for your next property. Here's how it works. You buy your first property, improve it, or hold it over time. And once it gains enough equity, you refinance it for more than you currently owe. You take the difference in cash, tax deferred, and use it to buy a second property. Repeat the process, which is improve, refinance, reinvest. And you create a snowball effect of portfolio growth without needing to come up with new capital for each deal. If you can just get in the game and buy the first one, time will go to work in your corner. So long as you buy the right one, you got to get the first oceanfront condo investment right. If you get that one right, guys, then it will be a snowball effect. Your financials will look strong. And they can do loans. A DSCR loan doesn't even look at your income. You don't have to worry about debt to income ratio. They literally pull the income of the property so long as your credit score is high enough and you've got 25% down. If you just get the first one right, guys, it's a snowball effect. It's downhill from there for you. That's why you get in contact with a broker like me. I help people like you all the time make oceanfront condo investments. Regular, normal, everyday people that have saved up money in a 401k or have come into some cash or saved some cash and they want to get in the game and start building some wealth. Give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. Now, this method lets investors scale rapidly, but it requires good credit, strategic property selection, that's where I come in to help you, strong cash flow, and discipline to avoid over-leveraging. It's that simple and that easy, guys. All right, now we're going to take a quick walk right over to the other Breakers buildings so you can get a look at them. There's your Starbucks and your Ben & Jerry's right across the street. This is the Courtyard by Marriott. We're just about to pass that through. All right, so this is your other Breakers building right here. There's a gift shop down here. There's a public beach access right here, as you can see. There's the Harbor gift shop. We'll take you over here real quick. The Breakers. Cool little lobby. And this is the very cool gift shop right here at the Breakers Resort. All right, guys, elevators right here. And you can see a very cool little indoor restaurant and bar. Absolutely fun. And look at this, guys. Very cool view right here. Hi. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, your HOA fee is going to include electric in the common area, water and sewer, trash pickup, elevator service, pool service, landscape lawn, insurance, manager, rec facilities, primary antenna, cable TV, common maintenance and repair, electric in the unit, which is a big one, telephone service in the unit, internet access, and pest control. All right, so what are the attractions that your guests are going to want to visit, which is going to create a strong draw for them to rent your oceanfront condo because of the close proximity and all the great attractions? Let's go through them. Barefoot Landing, guys, 21 minutes away. Guys, you cannot miss Barefoot Landing. Barefoot Landing is boutique shopping. There's a marina. There is, you can drive your boat up and get out, eat at a restaurant on the water. They do fireworks shows and live concerts. There's restaurants out there to eat with the family. For Easter, I took my in-laws out there. We ate at the Crooked Hammock. I played ping pong with my kids outside over there. There was a train ride the kids did. They enjoyed it. There's all kinds of family and fun and just friends. It's welcome for everyone. Lulu's is out there, the Crooked Hammock. There's Greg Norman, another great restaurant out there. There's plenty to do. You don't want to miss it. Now, additionally, Barefoot Landing is 21 minutes away from the Breakers. Broadway at the beach. It's another excellent tourist attraction. It's only 5 minutes away. Guys, it is 350 acres of fun. Let me tell you, fireworks shows and boat rides and Wonderworks and, I mean, Wahlburgers and Dave & Buster's, and there's just so much to do. You don't want to miss it. They got a new area out there where the Hangout is, another great little restaurant. They've got golf you can play. I mean, like little putt-putt golf. It's a lot of fun. Pirates Voyage, another excellent attraction in our market. They're doing acrobatics. It's 2 teams of pirates. They're jumping in the water. They're doing a fire show. They're getting the crowd involved, and they're serving you dinner. It is a phenomenal experience for any family. You want to go out there and have a lot of fun with them. Now, same thing goes for Medieval Times. It is a dinner show with knights, and they're fighting, and there's swords, and there's horses, and they are having a blast out there, getting you involved in all that fun. Now, the Skywheel, a major Myrtle Beach landmark, only 3 minutes away up the road. The Boardwalk and Promenade, another major landmark, only 8 minutes away. Tanger Outlets, 19 minutes away. If you want to shop, that's where you want to go. Market Common. Now, Market Common is a city within a city. Guys, there's upscale shopping, White House Black Market, Southern Living. I mean, you name it, it's there. There's bookstores and movie theaters. They do all kinds of little festivals. Across the street is a $1.3 million playground called Savannah's Playground. You don't want to miss it. It's probably one of the most desirable places in our market to live. Now, Myrtle Beach International Airport, 15 minutes up the road. Let's get into golf. Dunes Golf and Beach Club. You got to go. It is luxury golf at its finest. You definitely want to check it out. It's right there, oceanfront. Beautiful greens, an excellent place to play golf. Myrtlewood Golf Club, 12 minutes up the road. Dunes Golf and Beach Club was 14 minutes up the road. World Tour Golf Links was a whopping 15 minutes up the road. World Tour Golf Links, guys, is going to have holes from some of the best courses around the world. And of course, there's Top Golf, only 4 minutes up the road. You do not want to miss Top Golf. Guys, there's individual lanes set up to go out, and it's a driving range. You have a blast. There's restaurants. They serve you food, friends, family. It's the kind of thing that you want to do. Get a group of your friends together and go out and hit that driving range. You won't regret it. It'll be a lot of fun. Again, only just a few minutes up the road. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, so how well did this property appreciate over the last decade? I'm glad you asked. Guys, if you would have purchased this property back in 2014, it was $272,500. You fast forward to 2024, that's $542,505. That's $270,000 in appreciation, $27,001 each year. The great news is that larger oceanfront condos appreciate better generally than smaller oceanfront condos. So if you're a first-time investor and you're looking for less risk, especially in those first 1 or 2 years that you're learning the short-term vacation rental game business, then you want to purchase a larger oceanfront condo because it's going to appreciate well, and it will carry you in those lean years that your annual profits might be a little bit lower while you're learning the business. It's just a smarter move. It's less risk. They appreciate better. The larger ones always appreciate better. People will think that, oh, if I buy a smaller oceanfront condo, it's less risk. No, it's not. Technically, there's a lot more competition in the smaller oceanfront condos than the 3 and 4 and 5 bedroom oceanfront condos, because there's a much greater supply of them on the market. There's a much lower supply of those 3, 4, and 5 bedrooms. So if you want less risk, you compete where there's less competition and where there's better appreciation. It's going to carry you through the investment. Now let's work through the AirDNA occupancy on this unit. The AirDNA Rentalizer report provides a performance snapshot for this 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom short-term rental right here at the Breakers Resort. Now, this report assumes that you're accommodating up to 8 guests. That's 2 guests per bedroom and 2 on the sleeper sofa. The projected annual revenue right now is $73,500 with an average daily rate of as much as $296 and an occupancy rate of as much as 68%. Now, it's also backed by a high confidence score. Operating expenses are estimated at $22,000, resulting in a net operating income, an NOI, of $51,500. The submarket has a solid score of 76 out of 100, indicating a strong coastal investment zone. This data highlights a promising opportunity for out-of-state investors seeking high rental income potential in a prime Myrtle Beach location. Guys, the point is, the occupancy rate here is at 68%. There's obviously room for improvement. I wanted you to be aware of that, and I wanted you to see an outside opinion, another opinion of this property. All right, let's see if I can get here through the stairs, guys. She said downstairs there's a pool bar. Okay. We got elevators down here. And we found it, guys. Check it out. Not bad. And you can see a nice cool hot tub right here in the corner. And of course, more areas to lay out. Hi. Now guys, you can see here, there's a nice little outdoor bar. And a lot of guys saying hi. Now let's work through just a little bit of variance right here at the Breakers Resort. Guys, Unit 1674 in 2024 did $87,568. Unit 970 in 2023 did $69,728.60. The variance, the difference in those two numbers was $17,839 for an average gross rental income of $76,648. Now, we don't base our numbers off of the average or off of what the mediocre units did there. No one goes into business and goes, oh, well, I'm going to invest all this money in this condo so that I can do mediocre. We do it based on what the best performing units have done at the resort or even nearby resorts, because with similar amenities, because we're in this to make money. We need a goal or a target to hit that pushes us to make sure we're maximizing the profit on our condos and on our units. Now, let's talk just a little bit through the variance. Now, gross rental income at oceanfront condos can widely vary due to several key factors. The most influential include unit condition, interior upgrades, floor level, view, oceanfront versus ocean view. Guys, an ocean view unit is not going to outperform an oceanfront unit, except at a few exceptional places like Dunes Village. Those oceanfront units, yes, they do outperform oceanfront units, largely because they have an indoor water park that can be used 12 months out of the year. Aside from that, an oceanfront is always going to outperform an ocean view unit. And proximity to resort amenities like pools or beach access. Now, updated, well-furnished units with modern finishes consistently outperform dated ones, often earning thousands more annually. Additionally, factors like owner marketing efforts, professional photography, and guest reviews can make a major impact on visibility and booking rates. Even within the same resort, it's common to see large income differences between units simply because one has been remodeled and optimized for short-term rental success while another has not. And we see this, I see this all day long in oceanfront condos in our market. Yes, you'll have 5 condos at the same exact resort. One guy's making $140,000 a year, one guy's making $104,000 a year, one guy's making 87, another guy's making 20. And you're like, what is going on? Well, I just told you what's going on. The people that are playing this game seriously and are maximizing the key points I just mentioned to you are the people that are making great profit on their oceanfront condo units. Now, many investors are concerned about HOAs. Guys, here's the deal. An HOA protects your property's value. It's that simple and that easy. When you go to resell this property 5 to 7 or 10 years from now, you'll be thankful that you had an HOA to keep all of the owners on site accountable to healthy standards. HOA boards consist of people that own at that particular resort, and they are making value-added decisions to maintain all of those great amenities and for the upkeep of the property. And maybe they're putting in a water park, maybe they're doing all new slider doors, maybe they're fixing all of the elevators. Whatever they're doing, they don't want to pay those fees any more than you do. But they're smart enough to realize that if they don't pay those fees and keep that place upkept well and maintained and add value-added amenities, the tourists aren't going to come back and rent those units, and the property values are going to drop. They're protecting the long game on your unit. They're protecting the appreciation. You'll be glad you had an HOA once you go to sell that property and it's appreciated $270,000 because it was well maintained and taken care of. Now, additionally, people are concerned about high HOA fees. Guys, high HOA fees, those are the resorts that have the best amenities in the best locations and have the strongest brand reputation in our market generally. Those are the places where people want to go. So don't let the HOA fee freak you out, fear you out into being in the driver's seat and determining where you invest in our market. If you invest at places with low HOA fees, you're not going to have a strong brand and a great location generally to carry that investment. And you're going to need that for the first few years that you're doing this if you want to reduce your risk. You want to invest in the higher HOA fees. People think, well, it's less expense, so it's less risk. Except for the fact that if the brand of the resort is providing the majority of the bookings that are coming in because they have such great on-site amenities and it's so well taken care of, but you buy at a low-tier place, you're probably not going to make that much money. It's actually more risk. So ultimately, you want to make sure that you invest in a resort generally that has higher HOA fees. And who cares if you buy the right property and you've done the strategic, the calculated risk, the strategic work on the property, the right analysis. Well, guys, guess what? The tourists are going to be renting it and paying the HOA fee anyways. You're never even going to pay it. The property is supposed to generate a profit. It's that simple and that easy, guys. Now let's talk about the secret of concierge services. Guys, you got to do concierge services. I once had a client that was featured in Forbes magazine who owned a property at the Sea Mist. It was an ocean view, not even an oceanfront unit, but it was a nicer unit. It was a larger unit. It did have a nice size jacuzzi jet tub in it. It was a larger unit. It was nice. Anyways, the point is this. She made $33,000 in gross rental income self-managing a unit over at the Sea Mist. She offered these packages, these concierge vacation services packages. For example, you could do a $500, $1,000, a $1,500 package. Dinner for two, a gift for him, a gift for her, bathrobes, rose petals on the bed. I mean, you name it. You can put all kinds of very cool things in the services. The point is, you got a $500 package, a $1,000 package, and a $1,500 package. You've got tickets to Medieval Times or to Pirates Voyage or to festivals, the Country Music Festival, the different things going on here. Get creative. You get with your cleaning person, you pay them $100, $50, you get them to order everything and leave it in an envelope for the guest right there in the nightstand or in the kitchen or something, but you arrange to make sure that they get it. Now, people on vacation like spending money, if you don't know that. Vacations are all about disposable income and pleasure. So the point is that they will very happily pay you to provide to provide this service for them, and it's doing nothing but driving your gross rental income up, up, up. If you get 10 clients in 1 year that sign up for a $1,500 package, you've made an extra $15,000. Think about it. And you're only paying out $100 to your cleaning lady to get her to order all the stuff for you. It's that simple and that easy, guys. All right, guys, we're going to head over to the other building because that's where the water park is, which I've been trying to find now this whole time. You can see here, we have another beach access here. Now this is the Breakers registration building. I have a client right now that's doing a 401k non-recourse loan. He's using his 401k to buy an oceanfront condo property because he wasn't making enough money to retire on in his 401k as it is, which is the state of many Americans currently. They're living longer, the cost of living has increased, and they don't have enough money in that 401k. Well, what are you going to do with it? You're going to invest in oceanfront condos and bolster that gross rental income. Imagine buying one property that's making you $30,000 a year, $45,000 a year in income. That's a nice asset. Plus it's appreciating another $27,000, $30,000, $32,000 a year. That's what you want to do. You want to start thinking with your money. Cash out refis, same thing. I had a couple call me. They've got money in their house. They took the money out of their house. They're buying an oceanfront condo. They're using the money that they've already got in their assets smarter. It's just a smart move. Now, a non-recourse loan against a 401k is used when purchasing real estate within the 401k itself. Now, that's typically through a self-directed solo 401k plan. In this setup, the 401k account, not the individual person, purchased the property. And a non-recourse loan is used because IRS rules prohibit personal guarantees on 401k owned investments. A non-recourse loan means the lender can only seize the property if there's a default. They cannot go after the investor's personal assets or the rest of the 401k funds. This allows investors to leverage their retirement funds to buy real estate while keeping the investment compliant with IRS rules. However, only the 401k benefits from the investment. Only the 401k benefits from the investment returns. And strict rules around prohibited transactions must be followed to avoid penalties. It is a very, very smart move. If you've got a 401k, you definitely need to make sure that 9 times out of 10, I would imagine, your average person is not going to have enough money to successfully retire off of and have the lifestyle that they want to have. What you want is, you want to take that 401k and invest that money in assets that are producing income, that are giving you a greater return than what you're currently getting. And you can diversify. If you want to leave some of it in stocks, or if you want to do something else with your money, you can do that. I'm just saying real estate needs to be a healthy part of your investment portfolio, hands down. And oceanfront condos, they are in a league of their own, and they are giving phenomenal returns. And there are investors just like you that are using their 401ks to make solid investment decisions to set up their future in a much better place. Now, 1031 like-kind exchange, guys, a 1031 exchange named after Section 1031 of the IRS code allows real estate investors to defer paying capital gains taxes when they sell an investment property, as long as they reinvest the proceeds into a like-kind property of equal or greater value within a specific time frame. Now, the key rules include identifying the replacement property within 45 days and closing on it within 180 days of sale. This strategy helps investors grow their portfolios more efficiently by deferring taxes and leveraging their equity. But it requires careful planning and the use of a qualified intermediary to handle the transaction. I have a qualified intermediary that I can introduce you to do your 1031 like-kind exchange. Get in contact with me. It's 843-360-1737. If you want to build a nice nest egg through real estate transactions like short-term vacation rental properties, commercial properties, even long-term rentals, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. All right, so the water park is this way, guys. We got to go all the way down here and circle around to get to the water park. Cool little shuttle. You can see there, Breaker shuttle. All right, guys, June, July, and August, you should make enough money on your oceanfront condo to cover all of the operating expenses for the entire year. And if you don't believe me, ask Matt Freeze, who's been on the channel, and watch his investor interviews. He does it every year, does it all the time. It is not an issue and not a challenge. There are lots of people making great money on these oceanfront condos. All right, this is the water slide. You can see there's a little stage set up here. Pretty cool. Then we've got our water slide here. And check it out. Whoa, how cool is that? That's a lot of fun for friends and family alike. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, so do I buy this property as a second home, or do I buy this property as an investment property? Well, guys, I'm going to tell you to buy it as an investment property. That way you can rent it out 365 days a year. And if you buy it as a second home, you can only rent it out 180 days out of the year. You've got to occupy the property 21 days out of the year, and your primary residence has to be more than 75 miles away from the second home. Additionally, yes, you are going to get a cheaper interest rate and a lower down payment, but you can't really maximize the rentals on the property. And that's the whole point in my mind. Yeah, you can use it. It's great. It's fun. We're here to win financially. Now, if you buy it as an investment property, your down payment's probably going to be 25% down. There are 20% and 15% down programs if you qualify, and you're going to have a little bit higher of an interest rate. The bank knows you're buying the property to make money, so they want to cut of the deal. They're going to charge you higher interest. Bottom line, they're your partner on the deal. They want to cut. That's how it works. Now, I would tell you to definitely buy the property as an investment property. Maximize the income. Use it in the off-season months. Don't use it during peak season. Don't use it when people are renting it. Get the advantages out of it, but maximize that financial win. Now, additionally, there is an indoor water park here at the Breakers. The indoor water park is not allowed to be used by people that are self-managing or have an off-site property manager. All that being said, is there an end user that can rent this property all day long, even though they don't have access to that indoor water park? Absolutely. There are plenty of guests that will still rent these units all day long. There is a guest for every type of user in every type of oceanfront condo. And if you don't believe me, watch the interview I did with Gosha Cook. It's right there on the channel. She owns 15 oceanfront condos. She's got them at places where Sometimes they don't allow people to use all the on-site amenities, and she still makes great money, and she is still very successful at what she does. So if you don't believe me, take it from her. Watch the interview with Gosha Cook. It's right there on my channel. Now, I have some investors that put up an argument about not investing in the south end of Myrtle Beach. Well, guys, I've got some news for you. Now, while investors often shy away from the south end oceanfront condos due to perceptions of higher crime, the south end actually offers purchase prices up to 30% below national averages, translating into stronger cap rates and value add potential for savvy buyers. Now that's per Hostaway. That's my source there. And targeted municipal investments in police staffing and technology have driven a 22% drop in violent crime and a 29% decline in property crime citywide from 2017 to 2021. That's per Myrtle Beach. Now, with redevelopment initiatives like the upcoming oceanfront redevelopment project focused on the Arts and Innovation District, set to inject new amenities and foot traffic into the south end, these condos also benefit from resilient year-round rental demand, averaging 226 booked nights per year at a 62% occupancy rate, ensuring a steady cash flow even during off-peak season. Guys, here's the deal. They're doing projects here. They're revitalizing downtown. Crime is going down. And they're investing in foot traffic. If you can buy an oceanfront condo cheaper because it's in the south end, well, what do they say? You make money when you buy, right? But they're doing all the upgrades and everything, and they're going to be upgrading the entire area, adding in all kinds of amenities to bring in great foot traffic. So it sounds to me like the recipe for a smart investment decision. The south end oceanfront condos are starting to look more attractive. It's that simple and that easy. If you can buy them cheaper and get in lower, you're going to make great money with them, renting them out if you know what you're doing. And then you're going to sell them, and they've added in all kinds of value-added amenities here. Guess what? Those property values are going to jump up. Could be an excellent investment. All right, so let's talk through remodeling your unit right here at the Breakers Resort. Guys, many savvy investors in Myrtle Beach follow a proven strategy. They buy dated oceanfront condos below market value, invest in remodeling them, and then rent them out on platforms like Airbnb, VRBO, and Booking.com. Now, the initial renovation not only boosts the unit's appeal and nightly rate, but also significantly increases its gross rental income, making it stand out from other less updated units in the same resort. These remodeled units are typically held for 5 to 7 years, during which they appreciate in value while generating strong cash flow. Now, when it's time to sell, the updated units often command a premium price thanks to their rental performance history and upgraded finishes. In most cases, the renovation costs are fully recouped and then some within the first year or two, making the upfront investment a no-brainer for maximizing both short-term income and the long-term equity. You have to remodel your unit. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story. Yvonne, she invested with me last year. She bought a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom oceanfront condo over at the Ocean Reef Resort. When she bought the condo, it was making $104,000 in gross rental income a year. She remodeled it. She took it off the market for 2 months, remodeled it. The first 12 months of owning the condo, she made $140,000. She increased the gross rental income by $36,000 after investing in a $50,000 remodel, and that's just her first year. So you can see in 3 or 4 more years, 5 more years, she's already making tons of profit off of her remodel. It was well worth it. And now, it is the moment you have been waiting for and one of the most exciting parts of the video. Let's break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. And then I'll give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, so let's run through your numbers right here for a cash scenario purchase at the Breakers Resort. Now, I've got your purchase price at $525,000. I've got a GRI projection based on $109,000. Now, this unit did bring in $87,568 back in 2024. I believe this unit can bring in $109,000. I found one at Ocean's One Resort, just up the road. It made $109,000. There's another unit, 3 bedrooms at similar resorts. It made $103,000. I think $109,000 is completely and totally feasible and believable for a 3-bedroom unit right here at the Breakers. Now, all that being said, your Airbnb platform fee is 3% of the gross rental income fee for using their platform. It's $3,270. If you take that fee from the $109 in gross rental income, you're left with a subtotal of $105,730. Now, your property taxes in 2023 for this property were $4,587.84. Your cleaning services were $6,000. That's based on 30 cleanings at $200 per cleaning. It could be less, it could be more. It's going to depend largely on, honestly, your first 2 years, you're going to want to get as many online or reviews as possible and get that superhost status. So you're probably going to allow for shorter stays, which is going to mean more turnover, which is going to mean higher cleaning cost. Then after you reach that superhost status, you got enough online credibility, then you can put that 1 week minimum stay in place. Now, your excise tax was $787. That's a $145 base fee for the first $2,000 that you make in gross rental income. It's paid to the city of Myrtle Beach. Then it's $6 for every $1,000 you make in gross rental income after that. Brings you to a total of $787. That's for police and fire department, those services. Now, next, your local hospitality and accommodations tax was 3% total, 1.5% to the city of Myrtle Beach, 1.5% to Horry County. That is a tax that you do have to pay. Now, there is a 10% South Carolina state tax, but Airbnb passes that in through to the guest. So, all that being said, Booking.com and VRBO do not do that. You need to pay attention to what the rules are as far as taxes go based on the platforms that you're using. Now, in this at this property, they've currently done an upfit. I'm not saying it's the property that was shown in the video. I'm saying the resort itself has done an upfit. An upfit is when the resort, the on-site property manager, offers a remodel to specific units. Now, the unit that I was preparing these numbers for had that upfit done. Our unit and the condo that we walked through did not have that upfit done. Just want you to make sure that you understand that. The upfit is really nice right here at the Breakers Resort. They did a phenomenal job remodeling these units. As such, there's a payment for that remodel. That upfit payment was $14,148. Now, if you elected to do the upfit with the on-site property management company, they gave you a discount off of the HOA fees. So your annualized HOA dues with the upfit discount was $12,192. I want to say it was just a little bit over $400 a month they took off of your HOA fee. Now, that brings you to an operating expense subtotal of $40,984.84. If you subtract that from the $105,730 up top subtotal, you are left with a projected profitability of as much as $64,745.16. Who said that oceanfront condos can't make money? That's wild. If you've got $525,000 cash, then you could have a cash-on-cash return of as much as 12% for this unit. Now let's work through a financing scenario purchase right here at the Breakers Resort. Guys, your purchase price was $525,000 with a 25% down payment. You're at $131,250. Your GRI projection was $109,000, as we already discussed. I do want to backtrack for a second. You're only putting 25% into this deal. Anytime you can use someone else's money to buy an investment, you are increasing your yield so long as the leverage is positive. It's a smart move. Let the bank be your partner in this deal and get into it for only 25% down. It's just smart. Now, as such, the bank's going to charge you a little bit higher interest rate to be your partner on this deal, but that's okay because you're making money too. Who cares? Now, your GRI projection was $109,000. Your Airbnb platform fee was $3,270, bringing you to a subtotal of $105,730 once you subtract that platform fee from the gross rental income. The principal and interest on this property was $35,496. That is a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, assuming an 8.25% interest rate. Now, your property taxes for 2023 were $4,587.84. Your cleaning services, $6,000. Your excise tax, $787. Your local hospitality and accommodations tax, which is a total of 3%, was $3,270. 3% of your gross rental income, 1.5% going to Horry County, 1.5% to the city of Myrtle Beach. Your upfit payment was $14,148. That's for a stellar remodel on your unit. And then your annualized HOA dues after that upfit discount was $12,192, bringing you to a subtotal of $76,480.84. If you subtract that subtotal from your subtotal up top of $105,730, yes, you are left with a projected profitability of as much as $29,249.16. Who said that oceanfront condos don't make money? Wow. Even after financing, we're talking about $29,000 in profit. The breakers can be a sure winner. All right, guys, so let's work through the depreciation of this unit. Now, at a $525,000 purchase price, you can depreciate this unit over 27.5 years. That's going to give you a taxable income deduction of as much as $19,090.91. Now, for all you high-income earners, you definitely need to look into what's called a cost segregation study. Very simply put, a CPA that specializes in this kind of study can accelerate depreciation for you. You could be writing off as much as $40,000 in a given year. Get in contact with me if you're interested in being introduced to a CPA that can do that. That's 843-360-1737. Now, the top oceanfront condos in our market, hands down, Dunes Village Resort, Oceans 1, Ocean Reef, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom there, made 140 grand. Come on. Caribbean is another great one. Excellent value there. Let's see. And then number 5, I would say Bayview. Hands down, Bayview. Bayview's got these excellent lockout units that they'll tend to bring in $100,000 a year in gross rental income. And that's not even fixed up ones. I mean, I can only imagine if you remodeled it. So absolutely top 5, hands down, Dunes Village, Ocean Reef, Caribbean, Bayview. I would say Sand Dunes is up there as well. Sand Dunes Resort, Matt Freeze owns several oceanfront condos over there, and he makes really great money. They're Ocean View condos, and he makes great money out there. There's great on-site amenities. You want to have those great on-site amenities. Now, in my opinion, Dunes Village is the best because it has a water park on site. You can rent that unit out 12 months out of the year. That is a massive draw. Those units are, constantly bringing in $75,000, $85,000 easy. I found a unit out there, brought in 103. You definitely want to stay in the 3 and the 4-bedroom units in that side of the market. It's a less risk, much more upside. It's a better use of leverage. It's the smarter move and a smarter play. Hands down. I could put you at a low-tier resort, with a cheaper oceanfront condo, but it doesn't have any brand to really carry you. It doesn't have a strong reputation. And in your first few years owning, and operating an oceanfront condo, you really need the resort's brand to help carry you through those first few years of you learning the business. So, in my opinion, it's a lot less risk to go with a 3 or 4 bedroom for a lot of reasons. Another great one is there's more supply of the smaller condos than the larger condos. There's a lot less 3 and 4 and 5 bedrooms on the market as compared to efficiencies 1s and 2 bedrooms. So it's just a lot less competition for you to compete against on Airbnb and VRBO. Now, guys, get in contact with me. I get calls, emails, and text messages all the time from investors just like you. I'm excited. I got another investor coming in Monday. I can't wait to work with him. Called me. He texted me right off of YouTube. It's always fun getting your text messages. I enjoy it. I like working with you guys. It's a lot of fun. 843-360-1737. I don't care where you are in the buying process. 1 month, 6 months, 2 years, whatever. Let's have a conversation. Let's get some of your hurdles crossed so that you can become an oceanfront condo investor right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Now, guys, I get calls and emails every day from people just like you looking to invest in Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. Please, if you found this content valuable, share it on your social media. Drop me a like and give me a call. Send me a text message. Shoot me an email. It's 843-360-1737. I want many of the stories on my channel to be one of your stories. Now, you might see that I'm a little bit wet and I'm covered in water. Got a little bit too close to those slides and two of those kids got me. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories.